Hello everyone, welcome back to the Atelier. I'm so happy that you're able to join me today. I'm going to be discussing with you about my new collection of jade pendants. So these jade pendants, like the one that I'm wearing, are fashioned in such a way that they resemble a jade perfume satchel. As I mentioned so many times in my video, whenever I'm doing research for my videos, in the end, I myself learn something new, and so it's very beneficial for me, and I love to share that knowledge with all of you as well. So if you're new to my channel, I discuss my great love for jade and pearl jewelry especially, and I'm really glad that you're able to join me today. So I actually featured a series of jade pendants in the past which resemble this collection, but I had no idea what they were, and I was wondering why it was hollowed out in the middle of the jade pendant. So these pendants are actually made up of a whole block of jade, and what is so unusual about it is that instead of the carvings being on top of the jade and surrounding the jade, they have actually hollowed out the piece of jade so that it is hollow in the center, and the carvings are surrounded all throughout the jade. So that really intrigued me, and I did a little bit more research and I found out what they were all about. So if we go back into history, even when we are talking about Western perfumes have been around for centuries, and in the past perfumes have come in different forms. So instead of the liquid form that we are so familiar with today, perfumes in the past came in a solid form, and also they were also made into lockets or pendants. So if you look at this example of something that I found on the internet, it's absolutely beautiful, very intricately done. You can see all the filigree details of it. And one example that I have is in my possession of a Western style perfume pendant. So this one, I found it and I was very lucky to be able to get it. I didn't really pay much for it, and recently when I looked at it, I was so pleased to see the floral carvings which were not only in the front of the bottle but also at the back of the bottle, and the stopper has got this absolutely gorgeous blue color on top, which I think is supposed to resemble the lapis. So this is one example of a Western perfume locket or pendant that was worn in the past. And so when I researched more on these jade pendants, I realized that they were fashioned or created to resemble jade perfume satchels of the past. So if you go back in history, in either the Chinese or the Korean culture, young girls in the past would be very adept at embroidery. So they would embroider something on a silk pouch and then fill it with potpourri and give it to their sweethearts as a token of their love, and their sweethearts would keep it about them, and it serves a dual purpose. It's not only beautiful to look at, but it's also very fragrant, so you have that lovely fragrance around you. They also, for example, the ladies would also embroider for themselves, and they would hang the perfumed pouches to their waist. So that, for example, in the Korean culture, when you are putting on the full Korean costume, you would have that pouch, but nowadays they would not fill it with any potpourri. I think it's just for decorative purposes. And then as they grow older, parents would actually gift their children with this sort of a jade perfume satchel in the form of a pendant. So when I was looking at it, I was thinking, it is so small. How could you even squeeze in or fill it with potpourri? And then it jogged my memory, and I'm so glad that I remembered this, whatever that my mom has told me about the past, because when I did some research, I couldn't come up with any information or photographs of it at all. So what I remember my mom telling me is that even in the Western context, perfume would come in a solid form and in a compact, so the texture would be something like your Neutrogena or Vaseline in a balm form, and then you would rub it on your wrist. So in the Chinese context, they would actually come sort of like in a powder form, and then they would roll it up into small balls like seeds. The easiest way that I can describe it to you is if you buy those air fresheners and some of them come in those small bead forms, or if you look at those satchels that people put in for preservatives and you've got that small round beads. So I think it would resemble something like this, because when you look at the holes in the pendants, they are very tiny, so then it is small enough to be inserted into the jade pendant. As I mentioned, I tried so hard to find something on the internet to showcase to you what it looks like, but there is none. So I would think that these are just made to resemble the jade perfume satchels of the past, and I've got quite a few in this new collection. They are pretty pricey because they are very well made, very delicate, and it's not very often that you come across these jade pendants. I've seen quite a few shops as well, and not many of them carry them. So these are very finely made, and for example, the first one that I am wearing is made up of a lavender jade, and this is one fine example of a lavender jade. I've seen a few jewelry channels where they are experts in jewelry, costume jewelry, but maybe not really familiar with the jade pendant. So this is one fine example where you can have a look at it, where the color is very natural. So the ones that are dyed, the color is very bright, too bright to be true. You can see definitely that it's not a natural color, whereas this one is made in a very beautiful natural color. You can see the gradation of color. You can also see how translucent it is. I think the fact that it is hollowed out in the center actually makes it even more beautiful, because when the light hits it, and it creates that beautiful lattice effect when you're wearing the jade pendant. So it's absolutely gorgeous. So this one actually resembles a plaque. So for example, if you are looking at, let's say, a period drama, which are my favorites, and you see that the king wants to send his messenger all over the kingdom to deliver some kind of edict or news to all the corners of his kingdom, so he would give the messenger a plaque, and wherever that he goes, he would just show the plaque. So it's sort of like a passport without anyone stopping him or bothering him. So this resembles that. So these type of pendants are very suited for people who are in authority. So for example, anyone in a very authoritative position, like in a government post or someone that holds authority and you want people to listen to you. So this is exactly correct for you. The fact that it's made up of lavender jade is also very helpful, because it helps people, so for example, who have a very bad temper, to keep their temper in check, because the lavender jade is almost akin to what the rose quartz is or the amethyst is in the crystal world. So this is one of the best example in this collection. And then I have another one which is in the form of a ruby, which is in a mutton fat jade color. So this mutton fat is in the form of a ruby. So the ruby is a form of power. So for example, what the scepter and the orb is in the Western world, that's what the ruby is for. Usually the queen mother or the queen would hold it, so it resembles power. So this is also very good, for example, for women who are entrepreneurs and they are holding a position of power or authority, and they want that kind of authority. This would be very helpful for you. I also have this other one in a lavender jade as well. So this one is in the form of a plaque, again the same as this, but in a smaller form and not as fabulously carved as this one. I think all these pendants are absolutely stunning and is very, very suited for people who are in a position of authority or who wants to have a position of authority and who wants to command attention, who wants to be able to control the situation and be in command of everything. This is the perfect set of pendants. If you'd like to know more information about jade, how to differentiate between genuine and fake jades, I've done videos on it, or how to take care of your jade. I'll be linking them towards the end in the playlist, so be sure to check that out. Please like, share and subscribe so that it would help my small channel to grow, and I hope to have the pleasure of your company for my future videos. Till then, do take care. This is Eileen from Atelier wishing you all the best for the coming week, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.